Assalamu alaikum, welcome to Times of Ummah. Today's first news update is coming from Israel, where the Israeli army has killed 3 Palestinians, including 2 Palestinian Authority military intelligence officers in the city of Jenin in the occupied West Bank. Dear viewers, a reporter from occupied East Jerusalem has said the incident was an undercover operation in a civilian vehicle. He added the understanding is that the Israeli forces were targeting at least one member of the Palestinian Islamic Jihad. One guy was killed in that operation and another was injured and taken away by the Israeli forces. The man who was killed is understood to be a member of the Palestinian Islamic Jihad, and thousands of people have joined their funeral, and also there have been called for general strikes against the Israeli aggression. A spokesman of the Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas condemned it and called it a dangerous Israeli escalation that killed 3 people. He called on the international community to intervene and stop the Israeli attacks and assaults. Dear viewers, there was no immediate report or comment on the escalation from Israeli officials, but one of the Israeli officials told to Reuters news agency that the Palestinian officers were killed in the crossfire. A reporter from East Jerusalem has said the witnesses on the ground say the Israeli forces also fired at members of the Palestinian military intelligence officers who were there near the scene outside their own security buildings. The Israeli media reports talk about the Israelis returning fire in their direction, but whatever took place, it is unknown that 2 of those military intelligence officers were killed and a third one is critically injured and taken to the Israeli hospital as a result. He added this is another instance of Palestinian military intelligence officers being killed by Israeli forces in the occupied West Bank. Dear viewers, the Israeli attacks and assaults are still continued on Palestinians from every side, and there is no way for Palestinians without protests. The daily reports comes from there showing violence from Israel, and no human rights campaigner takes serious action against Israel to stop it from violent steps. Dear viewers, the escalation comes weeks after Israeli huge bombardment killed over 250 Palestinians and destroyed hundreds of buildings and residential homes, including the media houses, which caused worldwide condemnation against Israel. But there was no such action against Israel from anywhere in the world. Today's second news update is coming from India, where India has recorded highest death toll in just a single day that surpassed 6,000. The total deaths within 24 hours are 6,148, and it crossed all the previous records because the United States was recorded 5,444 deaths in February in just past 24 hours. Dear viewers, the total COVID-19 cases in India surpassed 29 million after rising by 94,000. India has recorded fewer than 1 lakh cases for previous 3 days, and the total cases are 1.17 million now. Bihar revised its toll after the regional high court asked for an audit of casualties during the second wave of coronavirus in April and May. The court's order followed allegation that the state government was hiding the scale of infection and deaths. Many of international reports saying Modi government hiding the actual number of deaths from coronavirus, which is more higher than 5 to 10 times that India media reporting. Indian hospitals ran out of beds and life-saving oxygen during a devastating second wave of coronavirus in April and May, and people died in parking lots outside hospitals and their homes. And on that time, also many doctors and experts said the number doesn't include these deaths. A district health official has said the newly reported deaths had occurred last month and state officials were investigating the lapse. He added these deaths occurred 15 days ago and were only uploaded now in the government portal. Action will be taken against some of the private hospitals, and thousands of people have died in homes without being tested for COVID-19. And the health expert says they believe both coronavirus infections and deaths are being significantly undercounted across the country, partly because test facilities are rare in rural areas where 2/3 of Indians live and hospitals are few and far between. And the experts also saying that crematoriums struggle to handle the wave of deaths over the past 2 months. Many families placed bodies in river or buried them in shallow graves on its sandbags, and all those would likely not have been registered as COVID-19 victims. And the New York Times estimated deaths based on deaths count over the time and infection fatality rates and put India's toll to 6,100 to 1.6 million. But the Indian government have called it just the allegation. But the Indian opposition Congress party has said the other states should follow the example of Bihar state and make a review estimates the deaths in the past 2 months. Dear viewers, India has suffered from its worst condition, and the civilian blame Modi government for it, saying he did not took serious steps on time and did not tackle it on time. And still India reporting record deaths. today's third news update is coming from Afghan Taliban, where the Afghan Taliban spokesman has said Turkey should withdraw its all forces as per the Doha Agreement. The statement comes after the Turkey's proposal to guard and support Kabul's airport after all foreign forces completes its withdrawal. The Reuters news agency reported the development raises serious questions for the United States, other countries and international organizations with missions in Kabul about how to securely evacuate their personnel from landlocked Afghanistan should fighting threaten the Kabul capital. Dear viewers, Taliban has broke the Turkey's hopes of securing the Kabul airport to improve ties with the United States that were strained when Turkey seeks to purchase the Russian S-400 air defense system. A reporter asked from Taliban spokesman Suhail Shaheen about the Turkey's proposal to run and secure Kabul after all foreign forces withdrawal. In response, Suhail Shaheen said they should go elsewhere. Suhail Shaheen told otherwise, Turkey is a great Islamic country. Afghanistan has had historical relations with it. We hope to have close and good relations with them as a new Islamic government is established in the country in the future. But the State Department and the Turkish Foreign Ministry has not yet responded. The Pentagon said in a statement that the United States Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin spoke on Thursday with the Turkish Defense Minister Hulusi Akbar to discuss bilateral cooperation and regional issues, which did not specially mention the Afghanistan. Dear viewers, under the Doha Agreement signed between Taliban and the United States, all foreign forces will have to leave Afghanistan by 1st of May. But Biden has said in April that the pullout would be completed by 20th anniversary of the September 11, 2001 attacks on the United States that prompted the United States-led invasion and removal of the Taliban government that shattered the Al-Qaeda group. Dear viewers, the Turkish proposal comes in a NATO meeting where all foreign forces agree to pull out from Afghanistan, and previously the Pentagon has said it has completed its withdrawal approximately 50%. But the reports saying that Turkey's 500 soldiers are still in Afghanistan and training the security forces of Afghanistan. And according to reports, the Taliban's advance still continued and have took control of several districts. Dear viewers, if you want to watch top news of the day, please subscribe Times of Ummah.